You will finally go back into the sink. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Friday. So, yesterday we had district, and this morning, well, I got to sleep in. So, I didn't really get chances to film because there were so many conversations going on, and in those conversations were content that I felt like did not need to be filmed just because of the matter of what we were talking about is just something you just can't film. That was between me and a couple of friends. So we got home. Actually, on the bus ride home, a friend of mine was like, "Hey, can I have some food?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Just dive into my duffel, and he pulls out this giant box of Cheez-Its, which I don't know about you guys, but I love Cheez-Its. And he was like, "Can I have this?" And I'm like, "Sure." And he was like, "Yay, thank you." And he also pulled out one of my mini boxes of cereal, and I was like, "You can have that too." Several times I almost fell asleep, and in the process of almost falling asleep, I dropped my box. You can see as I did that quick pan, my computer is set back up, and my Wii U is almost entirely set back up. I did that this morning because I knew for a fact I was going to be using my computer, and I was like, yeah, I might as well get the Wii U plugged in. So, it's got its power supply plugged in, but not its sensor bar, which you can see right there, or its cords, its RCA composite, which are somewhere. So, yeah. Let's see what else. I'm thinking, I know I gotta get, okay, here's the deal. I've got content scheduled to upload for this week, for today and next week. The problem I have is something that I learned while I was at district. I plugged in my capture device and booted up Virtual Dub Portable and went to play some games, and I found out very quickly that my capture device no longer captures audio. That's bad. I put the volume to max. I tried all sorts of things. Something happened. It either happened when I upgraded to Windows 10. No, that's not it. Because now I remember Cursed Mountain, the finale, which should be coming up next Friday, so in a week. The audio did not record. While it didn't entirely matter, because there's hardly any sound in the game anyways, the sheer fact that audio was not picked up at all is disheartening. When I have my Wii U plugged in, or when I had my Wii U plugged in, and I had the volume meter up, I actually closed the volume meter, opened it back up, and it read negative 20 decibels. That's not good. I went from the Dazzle DVD recorder, which is what my capture device is, and then I went from that to my webcam to a video file emulation protocol, back to the Dazzle, and my Dazzle straight up does not capture audio anymore, which is really sad. And I know it's the Dazzle and not the cords, because that, like the day before, I had the cords plugged into my TV, and I heard the audio just fine. In fact, when we recorded the finale, the audio was just loud enough on the TV for my dad and I to somewhat hear it, but not loud enough for it to be picked up on the microphone with a cardioid pattern turned on. So that's something. I don't know if I'm just going to uninstall Pinnacle Studio 15 and get it reinstalled. If I do that, I have to ask Daniel for the installation disk because I lost mine and we both have legitimate copies. So him just letting me borrow his disk won't hurt anything legally. And Pinnacle Studio 15 isn't even supported anymore. So that's very disheartening. There's a whole lot of things. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm rather upset about this whole ordeal. I might look to see if there's any alternatives to fixing this. I'll look online, see if anybody's had the problem, what they've done to fix it. But until then, I just don't know what I'm going to do. I guess I can let you know what's going on with my college classes since those. It's good to talk about my college classes. For English 1302, I haven't had any problems. It's very good. I remembered that I can go into my grade book and see what my professor says about my assignments. I've seen a lot of helpful comments. A lot of them is just basic grammatical mistakes that I would not miss if I just spent the time to reread my papers before sending them in, but I don't do that. So yeah. This week is a rather easy week. We've got to do a 2-page, what does it say? Choose one of the short stories we have read this semester and write a 2-page essay about the conflict one or more of the characters in it faces. Identify if the conflict, basically what is the conflict, and then use 4 quotes. So I can do that fairly easy. Writing about conflict is not difficult. Aha! Conflict is not a conflict. Ha 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 ha. Oh man, that was a dumb joke. Minus 10 points to Hufflepuff. So, yeah. If worse comes to worse, I am looking at capture card alternatives as well as getting a different splitter, because I'm not sure if you know what splitters I use. I'll show you. I've actually lost the adapter to one of my splitters, and I do not know if, for the life of me, where it's gone. So, oh man, it's caught. So, here are the splitters that I use. The problem with the splitters, these two, I could not for the life of me find one that was like a pack that was like this. Like I found a pack of this and then 2 packs of these where it's 2 males and a female. And so I found this. My dad and I found a pack of these. And so I've used that for this cord, and then this cord gets plugged in to this one, and then this one I used to have an adapter for that yellow cord that's down on the floor, but I've lost that. So now my capture card dangles right here, and that's probably what caused it. I don't know if there's a way. That might be what caused it, and there might be a solution to my problem. Otherwise, I just have to go back into the market for capture cards. There was a capture card company, I think it was called Apogee, at PAX South 2016. They had a deal going on where it was like, instead of like $160, it was $100. And you didn't have to pay for like shipping because it was like right there and you could take it home. Honestly, that might be a solution to just get. To be totally honest, when one of the ladies working at that booth asked me, because she was like, "Do you already have a capture card?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Well, what is it?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's called a Dazzle." She's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, the Dazzle DVD recorder. She's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's very obscure, isn't it? She's like, I was like, deep down, it's like I really wanted to get one right then and there, but I didn't have the money to get one. And I already bought like a thing or two. So, yeah, it was something. I I think I might look at that. I know the Elgato is a thing. With the Elgato, I could record in HD, and there's also the Elgato HD60, which I can record at 1080p 60 frames per second. The problem is, you've guys seen my TV many times. In fact, just at a glance, you can tell that there's no HDMI input. Well, I probably could get a splitter for HDMI and possibly get an HDMI to composite, but I don't know. That's a solution I don't really care to do, the whole HDMI to composite thing. If I did end up going Elgato, I would probably get my sister's old TV out of her room. It has HDMI in, and I would take that down, and my new recording setup would be here at the desk. I would have my Wii U at the bottom. I would have the capture card also at the bottom with a cord that feeds up into here. And also my microphone would be plugged in here. And I would have my gamepad and my microphone right here. Like in this area. And then I would have the recording display here. Or here. And I would probably have to move this and put the TV here. Put this somewhere else. I might put the TV here. I don't know. It's just interesting. So there's that. The whole thing is just a little grr, if that's the only way I can put it. So yeah, tomorrow will be a fairly productive day. I might just put this essay off to tomorrow, since I know I can write about conflicts fairly well. I might do it today, but what I do know is that I have 2 weeks worth of vlogs that are behind, and I need to sit down and edit those and send them off to YouTube. I'd probably kill my Wi-Fi, but you know. Well, so that's the caught up situation at hand. As soon as I get my my capture card problem figured out, I will record more episodes of Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. And after The Force Unleashed is over, I'm going to do Conduit 2 and Bionicle Heroes. So that will be very fun. Thank you all so much for watching. And we'll meet back tomorrow. Goodbye.